listen, let's just get straight into it. A huge defeat there for Chelsea. It's another loss for Chelsea. The phone lines are lighting up already. We're going to get through all of your calls. So I'm really keen to hear from anybody, in particular Chelsea fans, what your view is. And my question, I'll repeat it again. Does anybody have any sympathy for Graham Potter? Because yes, it's not looking good. He's under crazy pressure. But there are mitigating circumstances that I would say would make this job difficult for anybody. It's not looking good. I accept that, Perry. But this is a good manager in a difficult situation. Or is he just out of his depth?
That's a good manager. And I was pleased that he got the job for the work that he did at Brighton, which was fantastic, developing players, helping develop the football club on and off the pitch. And I was pleased that a young English manager got a chance at one of the big clubs. After this period of time when he's been there, he's played 19 games. He's lost 7 of those 19, right? And I'm just looking at him. And when we was all talking, watching the game, the narrative from even Billy, the Chelsea fan, and Rufus, the producer, right, and yourself was, I feel a bit sorry for Graham Potter. I think that says it all. When was the last time that anybody felt sorry for a manager? I can't remember that because this wasn't a club that was in turmoil on the pitch when he took over. Obviously, off the pitch, there was massive change going with Todd Bowley coming in, new owners, getting rid of the recruitment staff and, trying to set a new narrative, which Graham Potter has been going on about, developing the football club, and it's a different situation now. But when he took over, they were 6. 3 points off top 4, 5 points off Arsenal at the top of the league. Fast forward it now, 18 games, 10th, 10 points behind Man United, who've got a game in hand. So Man United, 13 points. So Chelsea top 4, they're done, completely done. And this was a team of players, a group of players that has talent, are top quality players. Now, are you telling me that the team that he set out this evening isn't good enough individually, talent-wise, to beat Fulham? I don't think it's a surprise that Fulham have won. That's where Chelsea are. I don't think a lot of fans are surprised that Fulham, because they're in good form themselves, won the previous 4. And I'm just looking at the Chelsea team tonight. They weren't awful in the first half, right? But they were just nice to play against. And another indictment, there was no vibrancy, no energy, urgency.
It was flat.
The player who stood out was João Felix.
Yeah.
And he's not known for his tenacity, but because he looked like he had hunger and passion.
About him
we'll talk about later. It went too far, obviously, in the second half. But he had that dynamism about him. I don't see it with this Chelsea team. And then reports about Graham Potter said he's pulling in the 4 senior players, to talk about, the way to go forward and take notes in the dressing room. Why do you need to get you have your leadership group, don't you? Which is fair enough. But there's not enough leaders in this Chelsea side at all. There's not enough players that want to take responsibility. And I just think all of the elite managers have got an edge or an bit of niceness about them.
Something about them.
Because they're dictators. Jurgen Klopp, I know Liverpool ain't doing great at the moment. Mikel Arteta has got that edge when you see him on the touchline. If you look at Pep Guardiola, he's got that edge. Ten Hag going into Manchester United has that edge. They're all dictators, and it's all very well developing players like we said Graham Potter did at Brighton, but the players that you're developing are coming from a low level of something to prove. So you can develop them probably 30, 40%, get their talent out of them. You can't do that at clubs like Chelsea, Manchester United, because you're getting the elite players. So what you have to do is get them into buying into your ideas, and then you develop them as a group and a philosophy. I think Chelsea are just very nice to play. They're enjoyable to play against.
Well, listen, we're going to be hearing from both managers tonight, Marco Silva and of course Graham Potter very soon. So if I have to interrupt you while you're speaking, we'll get back to you. And apologies for my manners there. Listen, you don't want to hear from us. I want to hear from the Chelsea fans. Let's get through. The switchboard is absolutely on fire. We're going to get through as many as possible. Let's start now with Aaron, the Chelsea supporter. Good evening, Aaron.
Good evening, how are you? Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. It's another loss for your club. Is he out of his depth, or was he just really unlucky?
It's an hard one. He's unlucky, but at the end of the day, he needs to leave. Not because he's a bad manager, but he's lost the dressing room. And that's the biggest thing in football. If you've lost the dressing room, they're not going to play for you. You can see their faces. They don't care. And he needs to go, man. He's not a bad manager. He's a really good manager. But
you would sack him tonight, Aaron?
Say that again, sorry?
You would sack him tonight?
100%.
Aaron, if he's that good a manager, why do you want to sack him? Why aren't you going to buy into this? The club is changing. We've got a long path to go down. We're going to change the culture. It's not going to be hire and fire. We're not just, going to scattergun transfer policy.
There's two reasons. One, right now he's lost that dressing room, and it's going to get worse and worse. It's not going to get better for a long time. Number two is I don't want to wake up and watch Chelsea right now. If they had a bit of fight and they had a bit of desire, I would want to watch them. I wouldn't care about a loss tonight. But there's no fight. There's nothing. They don't want to play for Chelsea, and that hurts.
Just before, I want to try and get through as many as possible. Just before I let you go, Aaron, what did you make of Felix's debut? A red card, of course, but before he got sent off, what did you make of his performance?
Oh, he was the best player on the pitch, wasn't he? By far, you could see he's the only person who wanted to play for the team today.
That's quite
worrying. He's brilliant, and then the challenge was silly. And what's that down to?
Frustration.
I hear you, Aaron.
Exactly.
Aaron, I hear you. Cheers for the call, mate. Let's now go to the other side of West London. Let's speak to a Fulham supporter, a jubilant Fulham supporter, no doubt. Jake. Good evening, Jake.
Oh, boy.
There we go. Come on, Jakey boy. Where's Jason? Where's Jason Cundy, Jake? Where's Jason Cundy? Where is he?
I don't know. He's lost.
We'll find him.
He must have his head under his seat. So there's my dad talking as well. I've been supporting since 1955, and I've got a massive smile on my face.
Is Europe on?
Europe Champions League.
Champions League. He's going for it.
Top four, easy. Bring them on. Fulham were very, very good tonight. Yes, Chelsea got one sent off, and it just had to go. And he was very good. He had lovely, cute touches. But I don't know for how much they paid for him. 9 million, 14 million.
Loan fee, yeah.
For 20 games, he's only got 17 left.
Jake, let me ask you. Talk to me about the job that Marco Silva's doing. Because tonight you beat Chelsea, a poor Chelsea, without your main striker.
Yeah, he's got us organised. We've got great players in. Paulinho's been amazing, our machine. And you got Willian, he's playing out of his skin. I haven't seen him play like that for years. If you look at the defence that we have
Who's
tonight,
that? How many people who's that?
No, it's my dad.
Oh, it's your dad. Hi, Dad.
Right. If you look at what the defence was tonight, he had the full championship defence there. The new players were in front of them, except the goalkeeper. I mean, he's really got them organised. He's got them playing he's got everyone playing for themselves. They press, they run, and there's something there. Let's hope
Jake,
carry on.
Was you at the game?
Yeah, just coming home. Yeah.
Just tell me about, because watching it on the TV, it just looked like that Fulham had more intensity, more desire, and they were more switched on to what their manager wanted them to do and what Chelsea were.
Yeah, we were. They didn't look like they were bothered, Chelsea. They were just standing around most of the game.
And when that second goal went in, Chelsea's heads just went.
They did go. Listen, Jake, cheers for the call. Congratulations, well done. Jake says that the Champions League is on. Arsenal, Man City, the rest of you, watch out. We are coming to crash the top four party. Let's now speak to another Chelsea fan, Barry. Go to Barry next. Good evening, Barry.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hello, Barry.
Unlucky or out of his depth?
No, do you know what? I didn't want him when he come, and I've been against him for weeks. But after tonight, he don't need to go. Half them players need to go.
But that's not going to happen.
Give him the rest of the season. Play the kids, the two keepers, Jorginho, Koulibaly, Cucurella, Ziyech, Pulisic, Aubameyang, Havertz. Get out the football club. Let him buy someone in the summer and give him the first 10 games of next season. And let's see where we go.
So you would stick with him. You would stick with him even if it meant writing the season off and finishing 12th.
Wherever. As long as we finish 17th, I don't care.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't lost the changing room because they've never been for him.
Hold on a minute. Am I hearing this properly? As long as you don't Chelsea. This is Chelsea who win trophy after trophy after trophy. Were champions of Europe.
Harry, we're not going to finish in the European place.
2 seasons ago. But you're just accepting mediocrity. If it was a top quality manager, he would get a better tune out of this group of players.
Have you seen some of them? They can't. Ability is not in question with some of them. Attitude and application is disgusting. Kai Havertz is turning into Mesut Ozil.
He is. Hang on, I want to bring in a Chelsea fan that may disagree with you. Let's now speak to Alex, the Chelsea supporter. Good evening, Alex. Unlucky or out of his depth? We're good, thank you.
Yeah, I think he's out of his depth. I supported him at the start, but I think now watching him tonight, seeing him at the end there, he looked like he's seen a ghost. I think Graham Potter, I think he's struggling. He's really struggling. I think it might be time to go now.
We've lost Barry there, but what do you think of Barry's points that actually he's a good manager, but the problem is the players? You need to get the players out, give him time, write the season off, even if it means just staying up and go again next year.
Yeah, I agree to that to a certain extent, but I think the players are to blame, of course. But at the same time, it is a big job for him, and I think you get another manager in right now, and he can get the job done. I think you look at someone free like Pochettino, just get him in, get the job done. We've clearly got the money for it, and get this group of players working.
The difference is the manager creates the culture, and he creates the philosophy, and you get the players to buy into you. If you're a manager who's got a big personality, and everybody's saying what a nice bloke Graham Potter is, and he probably is, and he's like one of these sort of holistic coaches, isn't he, where he gets into the personality of the player, their sort of psychological profile. The top players are looking and saying, okay, I sort of get that, but I want to be able to follow you. I want you to be my leader and you to inspire me. And they look at, that's why when you go into dressing rooms, they look at you and go, okay, what have you got? What have you got? What are you going to tell me that I haven't thought of before, what I don't know? And he doesn't seem to have that aura, that inspirational personality. That's the difference of the elite. And the previous call is he probably is a good manager at a middle tier club.
Go on, Alex, brief response to that.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you got to give him a bit of time or whatever, and he is a good manager, but I think at a club like Chelsea, you just got to get the finished article. You got to get someone in that can do the job and just get results quickly. I think you ain't really got time to be messing about with, giving people time for projects and stuff like that.
Alex,
just get someone in and just get on with it.
Alex, cheers for the call. He wants Potter out. Let's move on. Let's go now to Dan, the Fulham fan. Dan, you've got 60 seconds. What's your thoughts on that win tonight?
Mind the gap. I'm just on the underground, boys. Sorry.
Is Jason Cundy there?
Is it Fulham Bro?
Boys, we are coming for that Champions League spot.
Wow.
We are moving
over. They are brazy.
Move over, Chad. Dan got his credit card accepted from last week. European tour, here we come, boys.
Listen, Dan, we're going to let you go, Dan, but listen, well done. A big win for Fulham, 2-1 winners at home to their West London rivals, Chelsea. It's more problems for Chelsea, more problems for Graham Potter.